Let's cross live to the capital, Kinshasa. Correspondent Clément Bonnerot is there. Clément, what's the latest?
Well, the Belgian king touched down earlier this Tuesday. He's accompanied by Queen Mathilde, the Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo, as well as two ministers from the Belgian government. Now, as you mentioned, this visit is a historic visit. It's King Philippe's first visit to DR Congo since the beginning of his reign in 2013. It also comes 12 years after the visit of his father, King Albert II. To many observers in DR Congo, this visit is a clear sign of the thawing relations between DR Congo and Belgium after years of tension, especially under the previous president, Joseph Kabila. But since Félix Tshisekedi came to power in 2019, the relations between the two countries have improved quite significantly. And it's worth mentioning that President Félix Tshisekedi grew up in Belgium, and he often refers to Belgium as his second Congo. Now, of course, there are still a number of sensitive topics, as you mentioned. One of them is Belgium's brutal colonial legacy in the Congo, and it's been at the heart of political debates in Belgium for several years now. And Belgium has made an effort to really make amends by expressing regrets for colonial crimes 2 years ago. Belgium has also promised to return the tooth of the former Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba, who was assassinated in 1961. And Belgium is also in the process of returning stolen works of art to DR Congo. So in a nutshell, this visit is very much about making a fresh start, looking at the past in the eye, but also looking towards the future.
Expressing regret, as you say, and many are anticipating that the king will go further during this 7-day visit. Earlier, France 24's Mark Perlman spoke with the Congolese foreign minister, Christophe Lutundula.
Si le roi veut nous présenter des excuses,
if the king wants to apologize, we're not going to refuse it. But I believe that we're already on a significant path, in the sense that we are on the verge of turning the page, apologizing, and moving on. So I think that this is not a prejudicial question.
So they're expecting, Clément Bonnerot, that the king will go further than just expressing regret. The king, who, by the way, will also be going on the road. He'll be going to Lubumbashi and Bukavu.
That's right, absolutely. I spoke to all the Congolese people I've spoken to over the past 24 hours have very different expectations from this visit. As you mentioned, some expect the king to go beyond what he expressed 2 years ago, regrets for colonial crimes. They want him to offer an apology to the Congolese people. They are also expecting reparations. Some of them are expecting reparations from the Belgian state. We'll see what the king will say. For now, the content, of course, of the speech he will give on Wednesday in the Congolese Parliament has been kept secret. And of course, this visit happens at a very difficult time for DR Congo in a context of renewed violence in the east, especially with the M23 rebellion, which Kinshasa accuses of being supported by Rwanda, and which has forced thousands of people to flee the area. Well, many Congolese people I've spoken to really hope that this visit will also help to shed the spotlight on this tragedy, which has been going on for more than 2 decades now. And the Belgian king as you mentioned, will not only be in Kinshasa, he will go to Lubumbashi to meet with members of the Belgian community there, and he will also go to the east of the country, to Bukavu, where he is expected to meet with the Nobel Peace Prize winner, Dr. Denis Mukwege, who's taken a very active role in defending women's rights and combating violence against women in the east of the country.
Yeah, and we saw at the airport with the arrival that warm embrace between President Tshisekedi and the Belgian Prime Minister, Alexander De Croo. When you look ahead to that visit to Bukavu, can Belgium play some kind of a role?
Well, that's what many Congolese people are expecting. They say that as a former colonial power, knowing that Rwanda and DR Congo were both former Belgian colonies, they say that Belgium should play a more active role in helping to restore peace to the east of the country. Many Congolese people I've spoken to say they feel abandoned by the international community. They say that everyone is talking about what's happening in Ukraine, what's happening in other parts of the world, but they really have this feeling that the world has forgotten about DR Congo, about its eastern provinces, North Kivu, South Kivu, which have been rocked by violent conflict for more than 25 years now. So there is definitely this expectation from Belgium, but it's unlikely that Belgium will go any further. Belgium has already called for the fighting to stop. Of course, it will remain to be seen whether Belgium goes further and takes a more active role in that conflict.